Okay. Happy birthday to the beloved Lil Wayne, man. The GOAT of YMCMB. The co-founder of Young Money Cash Money Records. The man that ran the 2000s to 2010. The man that is somehow still running the hip-hop game today. That is still somehow the greatest guy to ever rap, in my opinion, still here living today. The lyricist, the phenomenon, Lil Wayne. God, that sounds crazy to me. But Lil Wayne has been on a run this year, right? Lil Wayne has been on an amazing run this year, feature-wise. So we'll get into that really after this announcement from my sponsor. However, I did want to say, Rich the Kid and Lil Wayne getting on an album. I don't know who decided for this collab to happen, but God, thank you. Quick word from my sponsors, then we definitely get into this album. Alright, so y'all are gonna probably be like, yo, this man is crazy for a Lil Wayne feature. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and it might be the most bizarre thing you ever hear me say, speaking on Lil Wayne. When Lil Wayne said he was dropping something, I really was not expecting this. Really wasn't. I heard Rich the Kid and Lil Wayne had a project and collabs together, but I wasn't expecting a full project out of this. It's a 10-song track, and I think with it being 10 songs, I think it's a reasonable thing, and it does not have like a lot of filler in it, which I think is a great thing about the album. Now, before I get into this album, I do want to say this beat is not a bad beat, but I think after a while, like I say, like 7 songs in, the beat does get kind of saturated. Like you're kind of tired of the beat, and you just kind of are like trying to listen to the lyrics. Which could be a pro and con. Some people don't like the instrumentals. If you don't like the instrumentals, you'll probably like this 7 songs in. If you don't mind for just only listening for the words, you might. But my kind of side note would probably be, if you're gonna listen to this album, it's only 10 songs, but the beat kind of sounds the same throughout the whole album, which isn't really a bad thing. I think the beat could have been a little different, but as I said, this is a Lil Wayne and Rich the Kid kind of song, so I did not expect like a dedication beat by Lil Wayne. Without further ado, I'm no longer going to rant, and I'm just going to kind of speak on the album, which is going to sound a little crazy. Okay, so the first song is Feeling Like Tunchi. Now let me explain something to you. This song feels almost like a skit. And I say it feels like almost a skit because of the way this is played around. Rich the Kid feels, I feel like Tune, right? And Lil Wayne just is Lil Wayne in Lil Wayne fashion. He says, I feel like Rich the Kid with grown man money. Right? And so I don't know what this is like, what this is meant to be. Like, if this would be a funny song, like a funny introduction, it's solid. It's solid. It's just funny to me. He goes, I'm Rich the Kid, but with grown man money. It is. I don't know why it's extremely funny to me, but it is. Also worse, they go back and forth. So he goes, I feel like Rich the Kid with grown man money. And Rich the Kid goes, I feel like Tunchi. And the Carter is rich, right? And the Carter is rich, which I believe is a double entendre, because I finished listening to this after Meek Mill's Expensive Pain. Now, I'm not really a huge fan, but he says Hove, right? And Hove's original last name is Carter, right? And so is Lil Wayne's original last name is Carter. So he says Carter is rich. right? I said, oh, well, that makes sense. Lil Wayne is rich, so that makes sense. But then I started thinking about it. I said, well, Hov is rich too. Which I think is just funny because there's like a double meaning behind it. But I do think he's still paying homage to Lil Wayne. Okay, so later in this song, right? Later in the song, if you watch the video or if you watch the original audio, I did the original audio. It sounds like Lil Wayne was giving that interview in like 2011, and he was talking about, if I'm correct, I think it was a case that Lil Wayne was in, and he says, who were you? I think he was on a lie detector test, and he was saying, where were you? Is it true that you were doing a show? I think it was either Willie Nelson or somebody else. And Lil Wayne's response is the funniest because it became a meme, but it is also it's just very Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was like, well, I do remember performing at this girl's birthday party last week, right? And it's so Lil Wayne that when the song is titled Feel Lil Wayne, it is amazing to me. Like, I like it. I like it all the way through, honestly. But as I said, if this is a song where it's supposed to be like, hey, we're going to play back and forth, we're going to play back and forth, we're going to play back and forth, I like it. But it's also very funny. Like, the intro's very funny, right? And then they say 504, which is New Orleans. If you didn't know, the 504 area code is New Orleans. Which they do shout out 504 a lot in the first track of the song. Right, which I think is amazing because Lil Wayne is so versatile, but him saying 504 and then him just saying, I'm like Rich the Kid with grown man money is just hilarious. Like, it's gonna be meme worthy, right? To me, anyway. Without further ado, we're gonna get into the rest of these songs because I probably took a lot of time really talking about just that one song alone. But if you feel like Tunchi, happy belated birthday to Lil Wayne. Big Boss, right? Big Boss Kid said, Rich the Kid says, make her get lost. She gets a Birkin bag if I get her mad. And crisscross, right? And Lil Wayne in his normal fashion says, hey, I'm smoking gas, right? I may not hear my phone ring, but I'm gonna hit you when I'm on E. When I'm off the gas. Which I think is funny to me. He says, I'll hit you back when I get on E. A lot of people wait till it gets to E to fill their car up, so it's funny to me. Trust in friends is how that ends. But he says, yeah, if I don't pick up, I'm kind of on gas right now. I'll get back to you when I can. Because he just enjoys being that, like, high, I think. And yeah. Featuring Rich the Kid, Lil Wayne. I think this is a weird song. Where they just talk about their preferences in girls, right? And how Lil Wayne says she paid her debts off. He says got herself out of debt. I think it's funny. And the more sexual stuff that he mentions in the song. And Rich the Kid says she's paying a fee. And that he has the game on lock. So this next song is Bussin'. A buzzing. People say it differently. I got kind of that southern accent when I speak a little bit, or southern accents on words that shouldn't be there. Like people say shawty, I say jit sometimes. So Lil Wayne on Bussin' YG and Rich the Kid, right? But Lil Wayne starts off with his hook. He says, trust fund babies. He said, trust fund babies, right? Because I was trying to figure out what he was mentioning when he said trust fund babies. but that is kind of the single that goes with this song and also the title. He said, "Trust Fund Babies." Said I love it. Red is everything I get, except for Bluetooth. Because Bluetooth isn't blue, but hey, that's the only thing blue I'm gonna get to. It's close enough blue as I'm gonna get to, which I get because blood, his affiliation, I think it was blood. I'm not too sure. He says clean money, which I think he's kind of like he's saying, I guess laundering money would be the correct word to use. And he says something about laundromats. Like people used to buy laundromats and then like clean money. So that's funny to me. It might not be as funny because some people might not get it. Which it means it was easy to me, right? YG on Blessing the Beach just says a lot of stuff that I don't think it really. He just asks the question, why are you trying to save these girls? This kid just says I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. He says I bought a ring off of eBay, which I don't know if he means eBay or something that's out of my tax bracket because I'm not rich. He says money on me now. That's not really a word. It's MMH. Not really a word, so it's more like a sound. So I don't know if you can hear it. Which is great to me. And then we have songs like Bleeding with Rich the Kid and Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne being the lyrical master that he is. He says, look at my eyes, they bleeding. She cheating. Bad greedy. He says I gave her munchies. I bought a Lambo, but I ain't touch it. I'm blood freezing. Fire breathing. Which I think is funny to me because he just mentioned a lot of stuff that's red. I think Rich the Kid just says the police. And mentioned trucks like Meg. People having trucks like Meg. I think he's talking about the female but I could be wrong. I don't know if Megan has a truck. I'm not. So, really, I think this is probably a great kind of collaboration. We don't get many collaboration albums as often as we should. But honestly, I do like this. It's from a more comedic side of this album. I do like. It's really more. It's really. And even when you listen to the audio, you have like the doll versions of Wayne and the doll versions of Rich the Kid, which to me are extremely funny. So I definitely gonna say go listen to it. I think Lil Wayne has the playlist of it on YouTube. You know, probably get it on Spotify. Everywhere you really listen to music. So out of this whole track, I think I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Really, it's dope. It's great. I got a few songs I don't really like on it, but as I said, the first song is like up there with one of my favorites, and then Big Balls and Feeling Like Tucci are like songs in my top 3 that I like. So I would definitely say give this album a listen if you haven't listened to this album. As I stated before, happy belated birthday to Lil Wayne, the king of YMCMB, and his legacy and his wordplay and his lyricism is still here throughout this collab, which I really do like. If you haven't seen the interview, I'll leave the interview of the Lil Wayne thing. Well, it's in the song, but there's an interview of Lil Wayne that just has become viral after like a couple years of him saying, "Hey, did you perform Willie Nelson, or did you do this?" And it's a weird clip to watch, but it's on the internet. You can probably find it anywhere on YouTube. Like a Lil Wayne interview. It'll probably be the first few you see. He doesn't really do a lot of interviews, so thank you for listening.